Welcome to this episode of the Gunman. In this video I'll be taking you through the paintwork on this S Type Jaguar. The colour name is Liquid Silver and the colour code is 2029, or the option is MEE. So as you can see, the prep work on this one's already been done, and I've then taken it into the spray booth after giving it a good dust off with the air blower, then masked it up. Wiped it down with a wax and grease removing solvent. Because I'm using solvent base on this, I'm going to use the wax and grease remover. Obviously if you're using water base, there's a different water based cleaner you must use prior to paintwork. But so here we're using the tack rag. I sped it up just a touch, but I thought I'd still leave it in because it's a pretty important part of getting clean paintwork. So just going over the whole thing twice. If you find you're getting too much dust, go over it 3 times. At the same time as using the air from the spray gun. So here we go with our first coat of base. You don't want it on too heavy, but you still want to start getting some coverage. So this is a medium wet coat. Some guys ask me, how do I stop getting mottle on silver, mottly, patchy areas on silver. I've found the best way is just to put it on even is the best advice I can give. I've found these new generation guns, it's actually a hell of a lot easier to get good silvers. The original GTIs just didn't have the size fan as these new ones do. I've found these get it on a lot nicer and a lot more even. So this video is mainly just focusing on how to paint silvers without getting models, but I'll take you through the clear coat on it too. So putting our second coat on, I thought I'd leave in the flash off times so you can see how long it takes in between coats of the solvent base. So unfortunately I actually missed this car on the way out, so I missed the final video of it. I like to put them in at the end once the car's all being cleaned up, but I was filling my timesheet out and I saw the car, went back to grab the camera, and the guy was driving down the street. So we miss out on that one this time. So I thought I'd leave those flash off times in for you. So it's going to take a touch longer on the second coat because you've got the first coat underneath it that's got to help it stay wetter a bit longer. So I'm just using the air out of the spray gun to blow over there just to help it tack off a bit. So after we've started to get some coverage over the rest of the bonnet, we'll go over the whole bonnet now. Once those prime patches are pretty covered. If this was a different colour, I may only put just the one coat over the primed area and then start doing this coat over the full panel on my second coat. But sometimes silvers, you can get them outside and they can be a little bit see-through, so I just think it's a good idea to whack just that extra coat on there. So that primed area is going to end up with 4 coats after it's finished. Those first 2, including this one and the next one. So yeah, you just mainly just try to get it on even. People sometimes complicate it a little bit too much with the blending, and they try to get rid of the metallics, and they do cross hatching, and I used to do it as well. And if it works for you, well, that's great, and do it. But I've found there's no need to go front to back to front, and then zigzagging it and stuff like that. As long as your metallic is on even, you're using a nice spray gun with a nice big fan on it, you shouldn't get too much issues with the model. So I like to use fast reducer as well, speed the process of drying up. That can help too. So this is just our blend coat, our blending clear. So it's just a clear coat of base coat. It allows a wet bed for the this last coat of base coat to land into, and aids the blend a bit. So this is our last coat. This is the one that you're going to be seeing through the coat of clear. So just take note of how I put it on and how even I go, and how thick I put it on. It's sort of a medium wet coat. It's not too dry. I found sometimes you put it on too dry, you're trying to just dust it on, you end up making it look worse. So if you just make it nice and even, Obviously you're not putting it on as wet as you want to put a coat of clear on, but then you can just check it once it's dried down. Make sure you're happy with how it's dried down. Which it turns out I was happy with how this dried down. There was no need for a dust coat or a tech coat over the top of this. So now we're just doing I like to allow this this blend coat of metallic blending agent. I like to just leave it straight on and then blend straight over it when it's still wet. So just change guns over here and then back on with the base coat gun and just do that final touch over of the blend there. You're really just flicking the colour just over the very tops of the guards. You don't want it to come down too far, or else you'll start being able to see the blend. So we'll then just let that dry down. Make sure we're happy with how it's dried down by blowing the air over it a touch. It turns out it looks great, so it's then ready to start going on with the clear coat. So depending on the clear you're using, you've got to be careful of bringing both coats straight up to the edge of the guards or the fenders. And this clear that I use is Standox crystal clear, and it actually is crystal clear. I know I used to use the Glazeret 255 clear where I used to work, and that was a really yellow clear, and there is a lot of clears out there on the market that are quite yellow. So just when you've got it in your pot, if you see a real yellow tinge to it, just put one coat of clear over the back edge of the blends on silvers and stuff like that, and the light metallics. So this first coat, it's not overly wet. You don't want it like totally like your second coat, but just so it's closed up over the base coat so you can't see through. That's what they call a closed coat, so you can't see through to any of your base coat. So if you go and put your first coat of clear on, you can actually end up dragging the metallic down and end up getting some Mottle. I remember when I was an apprentice, I did that a couple of times. You'd have it looking really nice in the base coat, and you go and smash your first coat of clear on, and end up, you come back in and you look at it and you're like, hold on, that doesn't look right. So yeah, just not too heavy with you can still get a wet and nice even wet coat, but as long as it's not too heavy, it should be pretty right. So this job I'm using my guns, which are the GTI Pros with the HVLP Air Caps on them. I'm using the settings on this for 3 turns out of the fluid and full fan and 2 bars of pressure. So as you can see, we're still going nice and close. So I'm actually working on my own car this weekend, so I woke up, thought I'd make this vid, going into work in an hour, and I'll be spray painting my own car. I've decided to make it look like a race car, and last night we ripped into it, pulled all the doors off, kicked the rear screen out, pulled off the bonnet and the boot lid, or the hood and the trunk, as this would say in America, and I'm going to edge it all up, paint all the insides today, whack it back together, and then in the next couple of weeks I'll be putting a bit of a body kit onto it and spraying it up to look like a race car, and I'll be actually spraying the numbers on the side and be spraying on some writing down the side too. So that's a bit of custom paint work we can look forward to soon. So I try to change my videos up a little bit so that they're not all the same. So hopefully you're interested in them. There's also a couple of links to a couple of other vids at the end here. We've got another point of view video, and we've also got the Starterjet 4000B HVLP review and demo at the end of this too. So if you'd like to check them out if you haven't, go for it. Again, I'm using the GoPro with the head mount, which I think gives you a pretty good view of the way I actually spray paint. So you're more than welcome to leave some comments, tell us what you think, give the vids a like, share them around, check us out on Facebook, there's a link in the comment box down there. So apologies about not having an ending for this car when it's finished, but thanks again for watching, and this has been another Gunman production. Goodbye.